And then,
Here we are.
hello, looks like we're live and we're at the cooler with Rhonda and Cynthia. So, because we didn't really come up with a topic, but this is something that I've been thinking about for a while, I thought I would spring a question on you, Rhonda, and see if you can handle it. School us other people. And the topic today that I've been thinking a lot about is YouTube. Because I know that you started your YouTube journey a little bit more than a year ago. And so you've been at it for, I would say, a good 12 months with relative consistency. And I just wanted to know from you, what are some of the key lessons that you've learned over the past year YouTubing?
Well, one, I've learned to shorten up my message. I try to. One of the things I've learned is I need to focus more on teaching, so people can know what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
and how their thinking can affect their presentation. I also use a video with a teleprompter to help me stay focused, because I have a tendency to go off subject.
Mm-hmm. So when you say you said shorten your message, do you mean that you want to shorten the length of the video and how you talk about it, or is it just about this is the one, if there's one thing that you need to know today, it's blank?
Keep it under 5 minutes.
Okay.
People don't have time to spend 10, 15 minutes watching a video.
Yeah.
So keep it short, get to the point, and go from there. When I started, I joined a contest, 30-day challenge, YouTube, and every single day for 30 days, we had to come up with a topic and a subject and talk about it. And we learned how to, and I'm happy to say I won the contest.
Nice.
I was very surprised, and not because I was that good at it, but it was one of the factors that were evaluated were how the average time people watched the videos.
Oh, okay.
So
the duration of time that they spent watching the video.
Correct, because you can see those criteria, and apparently that's a big measure on how effective the video is. Now, I stuttered and stammered and was very new at it. The whole purpose of it was to get comfortable in front of the camera. But what I learned out of it was focus on, you want people to watch it. And if they're watching it for any length of time, then they're interested in what you're talking about.
And when you did this 30-day challenge, was there some kind of, I don't know, some kind of something where you realized, oh, this might be the reason why people are, watching my videos longer than they're watching, say, other people's videos?
Well, I didn't have time to watch the other people's videos to compare. But I knew when I was on the right track and when I wasn't. About that, I can't get that fixed. It had to do with the topic, and you can see a pattern on, because sometimes I would just talk about social related issues. Other times I would do like 5 steps to do this, and other times it would be talking about internet marketing in general. For example, what makes you think you'll be good at being an affiliate marketer and go over those points. And I've done some letters like that, and I'm preparing to transfer that into videos.
Oh, cool.
So the ones that I know people liked. So it's testing in very many different ways. Like the training ones go well. They help give you presence and help you to build some credibility too on that. So they're fun. It's I've had trouble. I have had challenges getting motivated to get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I admit it.
It's not easy, you know. I mean, you have to have a lot of, well, actually, you know, the people who are good at it, they make it look so easy and unrehearsed.
Because they do it all of the time.
Yeah, because they do it all the time, and that's what I call, you know. And I also have some clients who are also developing an online video presence, and I do like coaching. I'm not one who's I'm also not super comfortable in front of the camera, and so it's, you know, difficult for me. But one of the things that I do remind them about, and this is what I call it the Michael Jordan effect. Because, you know, Michael Jordan makes playing basketball look so easy. But, you know, he's been at it for decades, you know, and so like when he just kind of like, you know, he can probably just do this and he knows that the ball's going to go into the basket because he's been on the court for so long. He knows every square inch of that space. He understands the height. He knows how his body interacts with that time and space. And like that's still new to us. You know, even we've been doing this for 6 months, and I always have to kind of talk myself into it and be like, okay, Cynthia, today we're gonna do this.
I go through the same thing. I
have to pep talk myself into it. And I'm so glad that you're here because it's like, okay, if you fumble, Rhonda's there to catch it and we'll be fine.
I love tag teaming. It's wonderful.
Yes, it is really.
Yeah. It really does. So, yeah, if you can find someone that you know, connect with to do that, it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
You get two different perspectives also and input. Well, what you don't think of, I might, and vice versa. I don't think of, you pick up on. And it helps a lot. It keeps the flow going, I think.
Yeah, and I think actually, I mean, this is on a different note. And actually, there is a question I can ask you about that. But I think one of the things as well is for the viewer, it's a little bit interesting as well because of, you know, the different perspectives on the same topic. And so I wanted to ask you because I know you've also done some YouTubes with a colleague of yours or a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what do you think about maybe doing a on the fly comparison between your experience flying solo in the 30-day challenge and then also doing your YouTube segments with your friend in the non-internet marketing space?
Hi, Kelly. With individually, it takes a lot more focus. And like I said, for those, I write it out ahead of time and use a teleprompter, and I'll practice a couple times with the teleprompter. And if something's not coming out right, I can edit and change it. What Sheila might do is off the cuff, like we're doing today.
You're doing like you and I are doing today, yeah.
And our whole purpose, and we started doing this when COVID started. And there was so much fear and so much negativity out in the world and the community
Mm-hmm.
that we decided we needed to bring some positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what the topic is, we want it to be positive, something
Mm-hmm.
positive, and something to bring people to maybe forget about what's going on around them. Sometimes topics to think about. And we do that. We might talk a little bit ahead of time about what we want to talk about, but it's totally off the cuff. And that's what, thanks to her. And she wasn't doing videos at all either, like you weren't.
Uh-huh.
Now both of you are doing them a lot.
With
And
you.
well, she does her own too. And she
Okay.
started a little coffee hour in the morning with one of her counterparts that's in the same business as her. So,
Okay.
and they're so comfortable now doing it, where before they weren't. So this helps build that confidence
Mm-hmm.
in talking to people. It seems to
Mm-hmm.
have become a video oriented world, and
Yes.
maybe you can't talk to someone directly, but it's nice to see our faces and
Yeah.
to see who we're working with and who we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And it does personalize it. So yours and mine are typically more business related,
Yeah.
where Sheila and I are more, uh, I guess you could say, personal development
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mindset, personal
Yeah.
development, bring in positivity. We share some of our personal experiences,
Right.
and how we've turned the negatives into positives, and which
Mm-hmm.
you and I have talked about also, and that can be done in the business world. It all transfers over.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, I just want to mention that when we're done with this live, you should include the links to your YouTube channel, as well as to the teleprompter app that you use, because I know that you had been through a couple teleprompter apps and then you finally landed on one.
Yeah, it's very simple to use. It's called Big View, and they have
Uh-huh.
training there. And I found it very, very easy to work with. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can adjust the
Nice.
speed that you talk. It helps. It helps monitor that and goes at a speed that you're comfortable with and can speak clearly with. So I'd be happy to do that. Thank you for
Yeah,
mentioning.
no, because I've played with a couple of teleprompter apps, and some of them can be a little bit fiddly.
Yeah,
Not that they're hard, but sometimes it's almost like there's so many buttons that you have to press that by
yeah,
the time you press them all, and then you get in front of the camera, it's sort of like you're out of sorts again, and you have to kind of like remind yourself what were we talking about today?
yeah.
you
And
know.
yes, and I'll use Big View and then upload it to YouTube and edit if I need to edit. So you
Oh,
can
okay.
add little intro. You can add a little introductory frame,
Uh-huh.
like of the topic. You can cut things that don't belong there. Um,
Oh, nice.
not as effective as that program you use. That you
Oh, yeah. Well, but
want.
that one's very sophisticated. Well, I shouldn't say it's very sophisticated. I use two editing softwares. One is the iMovie that came with my Mac, which is, at least from the viewpoint of professional photographers and videographers, they call it a toy, but it's actually quite sophisticated for, let's say, the hobbyist editor. And then the other one, which is definitely more sophisticated, is called Luma Fusion, and there's a one-time payment on it. And my husband actually downloaded it. It has a few more bells and whistles, so that you can really, I mean, you could produce a full feature film or on Luma Fusion, and people do that.
Can you
But
put up a link also to that? Give people a
oh,
quick,
absolutely.
yeah, give them an
I
option of what to
can,
look at. That would be great.
yeah, it's a one-time payment, and it's super reasonable. And the reason why we got it was because you could also get it for your mobile device. There aren't that many editing softwares that you can use, on mobile. So you can use it on your iPad, iPhone, or Android.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can really use it on several mobile interfaces. So
Very good. Yes,
yeah,
I would like to look at that because we have to start somewhere. And
yeah.
then at some point, some people might want to advance, and
Mhm.
this would give them an option that uh,
Mhm.
they you've worked with even when you were
Mhm.
working for someone else.
Yep.
It was part of the professional program. So
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
very good. And a lot of people might not have heard of it either.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely share the link there. But I definitely think if you're just getting started out, don't get distracted by the tools. Use
Right.
the tools that YouTube offers, like you're saying, and just, trim off the ugly beginning, or, the trailing off end.
Like when your face is like this.
Yeah, right? I'm that's one of the things that makes editing difficult for me, because you can freeze frame the
Yeah.
clips, obviously, and then I make so many faces and so many facial
Yeah.
gestures that it's there she goes. It's
Oh, well,
embarrassing.
I love your face.
Oh, thanks. I love yours too.
Thank you.
But yeah, my face is definitely better in motion than still.
I understand that. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that maybe we'll conclude with that today.
Yeah.
The um, using YouTube,
Hmm.
practicing,
Practicing.
watching the statistics about watch times and how many people are looking at it.
Hmm.
Um,
Keep
then
your message short, under 5 minutes.
yes, yes,
That's the big lesson. And you also said teaching.
yeah. Use it. Teach with it. Use it as a teaching tool, even if
Hmm.
it's brief.
Hmm.
Um, and a couple tools to use would be uh, Big View, which is a
Hmm.
great way to start. It's
The
not very
teleprompter.
expensive. You can get it for free to begin to test
Hmm.
and go up from there. It's your choice. You always have those
Hmm.
choices. And then the program that you used for more
Hmm.
advanced videos
Hmm.
was
For editing. Hmm.
editing. What's the name again?
It's called Luma Fusion.
Luma Fusion. Kind of goes with Luna.
Yes, it was very confusing at first, but yeah, it's
Oh,
Luma
I can
Fusion.
imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
And then
So
two cool features is there's a one-time payment, and when you buy it, you got it.
excellent. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Movavi is another one that they has that fee, one-time payment.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um, but I know I've seen the results of what you've used, and it's very impressive. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I'm still learning though.
Yeah. Uh, that's that's good. It's good to
Yeah.
learn, and it's
Yeah,
good
it is.
to keep the mind alert and aware for sure.
Keeps you
Yeah.
young. Hmm.
Well, I know Cynthia, you have
Client
fund,
emergency.
a client emergency with your funded proposal.
Hmm.
So we're going to cut off here, maybe 2 minutes early, 3 minutes, and thank everybody for watching.
Hmm.
Please write us, email us,
Hmm.
text us if you have
Hmm.
any questions about internet marketing, making videos. We will post our links. about the products we talked about today.
Mhm.
And we invite you to come back again next Thursday for sharing with
No,
Rhonda.
help at the cooler.
Well, I'm so used to saying sharing with Sheila. When help at the cooler with Rhonda and Cynthia.
Yes, wunderbar. See you next
Yeah.
week, Thursday, 9:30 Eastern time.
Roughly 9:30. Yes. Be patient if we're not on right away. Um,
You know,
and
sometimes we need our coffee.
yes, you saw mine. I get one big one, and that whole gets me going. Um, thank you so much, Cynthia, for your
Bye,
time,
guys. See you
and
next week.
look forward to it. Have a
Ciao.
wonderful day. Ciao.
Thanks, you too.